Hello and welcome to HRBC show called Let's Talk.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So today we have Bishop Barry Randall-Jenkins,
Thank you.
um, community activist in Portsmouth, and today we're gonna just have a little chit chat about Portsmouth politics. Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So, Barry, would you like to tell the people a little about yourself?
So first and foremost, thank you, Nina, for allowing me to be up here on tonight. And it's so weird how the universe works. And I try to be. I know my church friends will get mad with me because they say you always being nice to unbelievers. But I just feel like how are you gonna get somebody else to be a believer if you be ugly? So I say universe, but those that know my heart know that I am a born again believer in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I say all that to say this: it's funny how the universe worked to bring you and I together because oh my God, before I met you, before I knew who you was, or we was exchanging blows on the internet. It never really got too bad and too ugly, but it was not
Not
what it should
really.
have been. But I'm just grateful for you for taking the time to get to know me and also for allowing me to take the time to get to know you. And in doing so, I believe we have formed a great working relationship and friendship. So anyway, thank you. And as she says, I'm a community activist here in the city of Portsmouth. Um, I pastored for a long time, and now I'm back pastoring. I have to rebirth and regrow the church all over again because we went through a little small hiccup about a month or so ago. It could have went worse, but I'm just grateful to God that the core people, the few core people, stayed there and what have you. But I'm just excited. We're in a campaign season, and those of you all that know anything about Portsmouth, there is an election every single year. Also, let me just also interject that I am also a proud member of the Hampton Roads Black Caucus, and what have you. You know, I know a lot of Black people like to try to act like they, not a part, but no, I'm not. I'm not like that. I am so grateful to you guys and what you all have to offer the community. So again, I don't want to run down my list of resumes because so many people will say, "Oh, now he being arrogant," but at the end of the day, if you don't say, people say, "Why you didn't tell me?" But just know I wear many hats here in the city of Portsmouth, and I am almost in everything except for a coffin.
Well, that's good.
Absolutely.
It's really good. Okay, well, let's jump right into it. So, let's talk about this mayor's race.
Ooh,
Who you voting
Jesus.
for?
How you gonna start off juicy? I mean, you supposed to just, I guess you don't know about
Ease into it.
you don't know about no foreplay. You just want to go straight to it. But yes, let's talk about the mayor's race. And listen, and I hope the mayor get to see this because he actually, Shannon Glover, that is, he actually made up my mind for me. The mayor, I had no problem with the mayor, except for the fact that I knew that he wasn't being completely forthright about a lot of things, and that he was catering to some powers to be behind the scene. And let me just say this to everyone that's listening, because I can always tell when somebody new to politics into the arena because they come in the gate with I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I ain't gonna be working for nobody behind the scene. Let me tell you something, that is not how it works. Trust me, even me, the people's pastor, as strong of minded individual that I am, every now and then I have to bend because that's just the way the cookie crumbles, because there are things that I want done that only people can do it if I kind of succumb to their agenda, and that's just how it works. But the issue that I have is that it seems to be that he doesn't offer no compromise with his base and those people behind the scene that is getting him to do various things that he just should not be doing. He's a Black man, he's an African American man. He talks very proud about how his mother raised him and the values and the integrity piece. But then he's not completely forthright because we know for a fact that when it comes down to public education, but he's smart though. He fights against it. He try to get people on his side. He doesn't want to fund the school completely like they asked for. But once he realized that he doesn't have DeAndre to switch, or Mark Whitaker definitely to switch, or Lisa Lucasberg or Vernon Tillage to switch, then he go along with the program, and he votes the way that everybody else has voted. And that's why a lot of educators and teachers and people in our community, they like, oh my God, I can't believe they're going against each other. Why are they doing this? I like Shannon, I like Lisa, and I just want both of them to do good for the city and da da da. But listen, guys, Lisa had no choice. We are dealing with a mayor who says one thing to people, and then he says something totally different. And I mean, it be mind blowing. For example, Portsmouth just now are going forward with the CTE school. That's for plumbing, electrician, and other things that kids that may not want to go to college learn. What many people don't know, we had that many, many years ago. However, it was phased out, and we were utilizing TCC for nursing and other things that trades that our young people could go to school for. But what people don't understand is that we had to bus those children to TCC, both in Portsmouth and Norfolk, and in the other locality that was necessary. The school bus drivers had to take them. So could you imagine? And let me just say this, because I know this firsthand as a former bus driver, as well as a supervisor in the Department of Transportation. I'm out on long-term disability right now. Prayerfully, I get to go back. But as a supervisor in transportation, we would have issues sometimes to where if the children are late coming out of TCC, we would have to hold up a whole high school, because normally the kids would get out about 1:30, and we would have a bus that would do a shuttle to pick those students up, and then on her or his way to IC Norcom or Manor High School or whatever, we will be able to drop those kids off, and then those kids will get to their schools, and then we would have kids that would get off at Norcom, and then we would have and what we would try to do is we would try to get a bus driver that would end in Churchland. So if that bus driver had to drive for Churchland High School, she would pick up the students, or he would pick up the students, and they were from TCC, and they would drop them off at Norcom, at Manor High School first, then Norcom, and then they will finish up at Churchland. But then guess what? We would have days where they would be running late out of TCC. So then we had to hold up a whole school with 1,000 or so students in it, that we would have to hold up that class, that dismissal time, because we're waiting to get those children from TCC. So our school board, and I give a great shout out to our school board that has been fighting hard, been pushing hard to get our own CTE schools, so that we do not have to go through that the dismissal times and other things will be controlled and mandated by our school division. And our mayor, Shannon Glover, he did not want that. He actually called TCC. And one thing y'all got to learn also about me, the people's path. I'll never lie, because my grandmother always told me, and that's not that I'm not a liar, but I'm just saying I don't lie when it comes to pertinent information and things like that, because my grandmother would say your name is all you have, and once that is sullied, there's no coming back from that. So when I speak factual. The mayor called TCC to come to a joint school board and city council meeting, and the PCC, they was there like, why are we even here? And Senator Lucas was there, so many others. And I believe at that particular meeting, when they asked, well, who called TCC in on this meeting? Because actually the mayor wanted TCC to come to fight against this, to try to say, hey, no, let the kids continue to come to TCC. But Senator Lucas yelled out, we know who called Shannon Glover, because he did not want that to change, because then that would have to give the school division, public education, more money, more revenue. So I'm thankful, because even though I don't always agree with Councilman Whitaker, he actually caught it just in time, because they was getting ready to vote. And again, and so that nobody say I'm just taking shots at Shannon, it got by Lisa, it got by Vernon, and it got by DeAndre. So it's not a Shannon issue. It was that they was actually about to pass a budget excluding $5 million that the school needed if it wasn't for Councilman Whitaker to have spoken up. And then the other council members have realized that, hey, it did go over their head, but it didn't go over Shannon's head. That's what he wanted to do, because there's a segment in our community. And let me tell you guys, if this is your first time hearing me speak, you will know I'm not a racist. I'm not, I don't play the race card, because anybody will tell you I hold black people accountable more than I do white people, simply because I am black. And my black friends and colleagues get upset with me because then they like to say, "Oh, you're a closet Republican. Oh, you're Trump. You are this." I get that all the time because I don't support Joe Biden. I'm sorry, I don't make no bones about it. But I mean, I can't vote for Joe Biden. I get it; he's a Democrat, but at the end of the day, there are just some things with him that just rubs me the wrong way. But anyway, I say all that to say this: that I hold black people and white people accountable, and we got to do that more in our city because that's what's tearing us apart. You know that we also quick to jump on the bandwagon for an individual as to the color of their skin, and this is why I tell people all the time. Votes matter. You got to also look at people's voting record. And if you are a person in the city of Portsmouth that care about public education, is affected by public education, there's no way that you can say that Shannon Glover supports that endeavor because he doesn't. He literally tried to fight against that. But we're so thankful that our city council members wouldn't be in. And when they wouldn't be in, he folded like a politician does. And that's one thing I'll give him credit for. He is a great politician because he fights against things, and then once he realized he don't have nobody enough votes to pass it, then guess what he does, Nina? He votes in favor. And then for the individuals that are at home that don't know the back behind the scene cat fight, dog fight, and really understand what's going on, all they see is what's the problem, Barry? Like, how can you just stop supporting Shannon? I mean, look what he did. He just voted for the school. But let me tell you guys something. We had the CTE do a program last week, and the mayor didn't know anything about it, but he spoke to a school board member that actually told him, "Hey, I'm on my way to the CTE, I guess, program, ceremony, whatever the case may be." And you know what our mayor did, Nina? He said, "Oh, can I come?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's open to anybody." So Shannon Glover went right up in there and got in a picture, got right up on stage. And I know the superintendent and everybody looking like, "What in the world? Why is he here?" Nobody said it, but but the school board member that told him about it, she was shocked because she knows how he feels about the CTE going back to just public school only. And let me tell you guys something. Councilman Mark Hugel he's the liaison for the CTE. And guess what? He didn't even take a picture because, respectfully so, he didn't vote for it to go back to Portsmouth Public School. So I think people just need to start asking the real question, like, "Hey, Lisa, is this something you doing because your mama wants you to do, or why is it that you run?" And she will tell you straight up. We went to her to be. Let me be a little bit more transparent. A few of us, myself included, actually didn't even go to Lisa. We went to Vernon. We actually tried to get Vernon Tillage to run for mayor. And Vernon wasn't sure, but then because of the way that the mayor was acting and going back and forth, Vernon was like, "You know what? I may as well do it because we have to change. We have to do something with this guy," because a lot of people don't see the behind the scene issues with him. Also, our sheriff, Michael Moore. I don't know anybody that could actually tell you anything bad or negative about Sheriff Michael Moore. He's a great guy, easy to get along with. And let me tell you something. I won't call the person's name, but we knew something was wrong, Nina, when Sheriff Michael Moore, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say it because people need to know so that people will know just how serious this is. Sheriff Moore said that he would vote for Donna Sy, who now name is Donna Biggs, before he voted for Shannon Glover. At that time, I was still supporting Shannon, but that raised a red flag because Michael Moore, he don't get to know he say, she say, he don't take sides. He just try to be friends with everybody. I'm telling y'all what I know about this man. He's so busy trying to, be there for his mom, his wife, and just hold the sheriff department down. He don't get into the scuttlebutt or all that foolishness that people like to say. And when Sheriff Michael Moore said that he would vote for Donna Biggs before he vote for Shannon Glover, I'm like, hold up, okay, now, Bird, you normally on top of everything. You normally is in the know of what's happening in the city of Portsmouth. How did you let this get by you? Now, mind you, I was dealing with my situation and being down. I had 4 back surgeries. So I said, okay, let me get back into the know of things. Come to find out, he was giving the sheriff department hell. He didn't want to give them the money for the bonuses. And he was doing this through Mimi Terry, who was our interim city manager. And I'm talking about it was she wouldn't meet with Michael Moore. He was like, what can I do? And whatever Mimi Terry wanted done, that is what Shannon Glover supported. And that was an issue within itself. And let me tell you guys something. As I started out saying what I that the mayor caused me to turn on his own accord because I didn't even have a problem with Mimi. I mean, with Sheriff Moore, Mayor Glover, I had no real issue other than that. Hey, brother, you're not doing right. But I thought that was something that we could work on. I had a conversation with him at the fire department ceremony, and as usual, he said, hey, I got to do what God say. I offered my advice. I told him what he needed to do, and he was like, hey, I answered to God. I respect that. Well, Mimi Terry got angry with me over a Facebook post that I didn't even have nothing to do with in reference to somebody else. A citizen said, oh, Barry, she got on top of the problem that you wanted because she didn't want you to come down there and raise hell. And Mimi Terry ceased communication from me. She sent me a nasty text message telling me that she saw the Facebook post and then she stopped talking to me and we needed help in our community for a particular citizen. And I reached out to Shannon. He wouldn't reach back out to me. I went to a council meeting and brought it up. As soon as I started talking about what Mimi Terry did, he called a point of order, got ugly with me, and put me out of the council chambers. So we got to ask ourselves this, and let me just say this, and I want to frame this right because I don't want to misspeak or say anything that's not true on Shannon Glover. But people was doing a whole lot of things. And they was like, do you think Shannon and Mimi are kind of close, too close? I'm like, look, I know what y'all are insinuating. I think that the mayor does have more integrity than that to do something like that. I knew for a fact that it wasn't that. I started to do some investigating on my own and finding out some things. And they told me that when city manager Angel Jones was let go, he cried tears. They told me that when they was sending Mimi home, he was almost in tears. So then it started to make sense. And this is factual. Go look it up. We have a golf course right here in the city of Portsmouth. Right here in the city of Portsmouth. Y'all know Portsmouth ain't but 33 square miles. It ain't that big. We have a golf course called Elizabeth Manor that is listed as an open space and does not pay taxes because open space is saying that is city involved. Well, the city was involved. The city has allowed them not to pay their share of taxes, even though they are a private owned company. If you want to go there, you have to pay to golf. If you want to eat there, you have to pay. If you want to hold a wedding there, you have to pay. And this is not through the city. This is a private organization that Mayor Shannon Glover tried to get the ousted, the young lady that came back to be over the assessor's office. He tried to get her, well, not try, he had her to go talk to Treasurer Paige Cherry and get Paige Cherry to work some things out with people's taxes, those businesses' taxes. And Paige Cherry wouldn't do it. And he wouldn't go to Paige Cherry because he didn't want Paige Cherry or nobody to know that he was behind it. But the lady told Paige Cherry who it was that sent her. She said her boss sent her. And people got to understand this, Nina, that Portsmouth is not a strong mayor government. Portsmouth, just like all the other surrounding cities that make up Hampton Road, are weak mayor governments. We are a city manager-run government. So Shannon has these people thinking that he's the mayor and he can make things happen. Just like I was told that what's his name? Shannon told the city manager, Mr. Carter, he needs to get rid of Dr. Patton and he needs to do this and do that. And, all we know is happening. I don't know how this man has people thinking that he has so much power. He's only one vote. He needs 3 other votes to make anything happen. And that's why this next election is very critical. And this is why I'm going live with you, sharing with you firsthand, because the citizens need to know he's doing too much smiling with these teachers and he don't support them. He's doing too much smiling in our public school buildings and he doesn't support public education as he said that he does. So we got to be very mindful of what's happening. We have a developer or a white businessman, rather, accrue a piece of property in the city of Portsmouth for not even $200,000, like maybe like 170, 180 some $1,000, and the property was valued at $3 million. How does that happen? Angel Jones. Oh, how did Angel Jones do that as the city manager? Because she had a mayor in her ear telling her to do it. Because this particular businessman is friends with Shannon Glover. This is just not a coincidence. This ain't nothing that's happening by happenstance. This is carefully thought out and done. And that's why we have to do away with Shannon Glover, in my opinion. Y'all vote who you want to vote for. But there's no way that I can continue to support this man, knowing I work for Portsmouth Public Schools, knowing I have 3 grandchildren that goes to Portsmouth Public School, knowing that I have several family members work for Portsmouth Public School. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. I need someone that not only are they going to say that they support public education, but I also need their policies to indicate that they support public education.
All right, now you said a mouthful.
I know, I know you won't ready for all that, but I just had to go ahead and get it out the way.
So now I got some questions. You ready?
Come on with it.
All right. So let's talk about the whole land thing.
Okay.
So some might say that, okay, so they gave the land away for less than it was valued, but won't we be collecting taxes on that?
Right. But this is the thing though. When you collect taxes on it, you can only collect taxes based upon what you paid for it. You follow me? You know, because that person will be going crazy if we try to charge them based upon $3 million, because he's going to say, I didn't pay $3 million for that property. So don't y'all come hitting me with that. Just like us, if you buy a used car, if you buy a used 2000 Toyota Camry.
Now watch it now.
I'm just saying, if you buy a 2000 Toyota Camry, you will look like, hold up, why y'all hitting me with a 2024 tax bill on this car when this car is old, when the value has depreciated? So at the end of the day, my issue is this, because you're right, let's be real. If I could get it, I'd be happy. And y'all will be talking about me. But guess what? We got to be ethical when we're dealing with the people's business. See, it's one thing for you and I to do what we want to do in our own private businesses and our own income. But when you are dealing with the people's land, because let's just be real, that wasn't Mayor Shannon Glover's land. That wasn't City Manager Angel Jones' land. That land belonged to, and people get mad when I say this because they feel like I'm throwing shade to the people that don't work. It is what it is. That land belonged to the taxpayer. If you are a tax-paying citizen here in the city of Portsmouth and you are and you do it like you're supposed to, then that means you're a stakeholder. So as a stakeholder, I should have something to say. Just for example, the same way they're bringing it to the forefront about the salary that the increase of salary that they get. I agree that they should get the salary increase because of the simple fact that I know for a fact that we as people call them 24/7. And if I call a particular councilman or woman because I got issues 2 or 3 times a week, can you multiply that times what, about, let's say 40,000 people? When you got everybody constantly calling, you working constantly. So I don't have no issue with that. But the same way they brought that up to the forefront, things like that should be brought to the forefront. Hey, we have some property here that I think that we need to lower the prices on. And we need to ask the people that it belongs to. Because guess what? If you're married, or if I'm married and your spouse or my spouse were to sell something without our input, we would have a problem with that. And that was done without our input. And the real question need to be asked, why was that done without the citizens' input? Because you and I both know that nobody in their right mind, black or white, because it wouldn't have been a racist thing. It would have been black business owners, white business owners saying, oh, hell no. Because if y'all can sell it to him for 170 some thousand, then I found me some property that I need that's around the corner that's 100,000. Let me give you $5,000 for it. So when you really look at that, this person got away like a fat cat. Like, come on. Like, you mean to tell me that I mean, it would have probably been understandable if the casino wasn't coming. But we knew that the casino was coming. So there is no reason for you to lower the price on that piece of property. And then number 2, I could probably even see in the saying, well, look, the casino here, but don't nobody really want to come to Portsmouth. Go ahead and get it to them for half off. So he's paid 1.5 million. No, that's a problem. When you compare that, Nina, he literally paid pennies on the dollar for that piece of property, and that's a problem.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have that.
Come on with it.
I'm
I
gonna
done
let you
took
have that.
I,
Now
I done
let
I done took some medicine, so I'm on one. Come on.
you ready. Okay. So now let's go to the Mimi Terry. Now,
Okay.
as we all know, the city manager works for the will of the council, right?
Right. All
So
seven.
if she got all these people coming towards her, hitting her with request or request, why we mad at her for, I don't know, doing what what the mayor asked?
Right. Because you got to understand that. So the difference is a skilled city. See, let me tell y'all why I like Dr. Pat. Most people will
I
say,
don't, but go ahead.
okay, but let me tell you why I like her. Most people will say, oh, she flip flop. No, she's smart. She knows who has the four. So as a polished city manager, you know that you don't work for just one council member. You work for the seven
Yeah.
of them. However, you should always lean towards the four that is leaning towards you. Because guess what? If Mimi Terry would have played ball, she told people, she even told me out of her own mouth. But this, hold up, this the crazy thing. And I hope Mark Hugo and Bill Moody see this interview, because if they have an ounce of integrity, they would also say Burr is not lying. That woman would say she only works for Shannon Glover. That's what she would say out of her mouth. I work for Shannon. I don't work for the rest of them. I work for Shannon. Well, that statement within itself, I thought something was kind of off with her, because at the end of the day, what you should be saying is, I work for Shannon, Lisa, Bill, and Mark, to at least make it seem like you listening to the four of them. But that's disrespectful. If you got somebody that works for you, Nina, that you got a private business on the side, and is you and three other people, and they go to that other person say, oh yeah, go ahead and do this. They ain't even consulted your opinion of it. That's a problem. A city
Okay.
manager, any city manager that's worth their salt, as my grandmother would say, understands that she worked for seven individuals. So therefore, she has to play ball. And that's why I like Dr. Patton so much, because Dr. Patton went in the direction of who the majority was. If it was when Kenny Wright and Mark Whitaker first brought her here, and it was Paige Cher and Bishop Curtis Edmond, the four of them on city council, Dr. Patton was playing ball and doing what they told her to do, because she knew who the four were. Well, then guess what? The tide shifted. Bishop Edmonds didn't want to run. Kenny Wright got knocked off. So then John Rowe was the mayor. So guess what, Nina? You had black people mad with her. Oh, look at she doing what them white people tell her to do. She won't doing what them white people tell her to do no more than she was doing what them black people tell her to do. She was doing what her green paycheck told her to do. And if you want to keep your paycheck, you do what the four of the seven say, or the five of the seven, or the six of the seven, or if you're lucky, all seven. But at any given time, you can feel the pulse of your leadership. That Mimi Terry knew that she wouldn't even meet with Vernon Tillage. She sent emails out saying that Vernon Tillage was intimidated and she didn't feel safe to meet with him one on one. Come on now, come on. Her favorite word to people is cut it out, cut it out. That's what she would tell Bill Moody. Talk back and disrespectful to him. Bill, cut it out, cut it out. So she need to cut it out, because Vernon ain't even going, he don't need to talk like that to men, nevertheless a woman. But she did that to prevent from having to hear what he had to say, because she didn't like Vernon, because she did not want to do some of the things that Vernon was asking her to do as one of her bosses. And she would tell people, I work for Shannon. And she thought that was cute. And that's why she got mad with me when I told her that, they said she's a preacher too. I said, oh my God. But anyway, some people may say that about me, but I'm just saying. I told her straight up, girl, you're gone. At the end of the day, you are gone, because you did it to yourself. You boxed yourself in a corner, and you only had one person there to support you, which was Shannon Glover. The police department had a $2.5 million grant when they was doing that Portsmouth United stuff. And fact check me, Nina. If I'm telling you wrong information, please come back and do a show. I won't take it personal. Come back and do a show and tell everybody how much I lied. They had a $2.5 million grant, and she put that on hold. Told the chief of police them, hold it, don't do no more meetings, because she wanted to see whether or not she was going to still be able to keep her job. So that's a problem. Okay, she hired family members. Now I know somebody will say, "Hold up, bro. Come on now, tighten up, bro. Because if you had the same power as her, you would have did the same thing." First of all, no, I would not, because I have too much integrity. I told somebody before. They told me, "If you help me win, I'll give you such and such a job." I said, "No, no, you can't do that because I don't have the experience for that. But what you can do is just give me a job and pay me a decent salary and let me work my way up." I said, "Because then you and I both gonna be in the newspaper, and I don't want to be a liability, but rather an asset. So I have more than common sense." What am I saying? Therefore, you don't pay no assistant that's a family member or somebody that you know $70,000. Come on now, that's more than some of the department heads get. You don't bring in what's the name, Vernell Woods or whatever. That man was a deputy city manager making good money. Watch this. Are you ready for this, Nina?
I'm ready.
Brace yourself. Put your seatbelt on. You
Okay.
good? You sure? Okay, watch this.
Right.
That man had never been a supervisor of nobody. Forever and ever, our man. Never been a team lead of nobody. Forever and ever, our man. Never been, what other titles they give people that's in charge? Supervisor, manager, lead clerk, he ain't led nobody. Hell, he probably won't even the head superintendent in Sunday school. He just the man ain't he won't no boss or nobody, but he was a deputy city manager. That should reflect poorly on our city manager at the time, interim city manager Mimi Terry, as well as Shannon Glover, who who knows all of this, but yet he supported Mimi. Let me tell you why I still respect Bill Moody, because when they was going down trying to figure out who they was gonna go with, and it was, this person, not this person, that person, Bill Moody was the only one of the white side. Because DeAndre, Vernon, Lisa, and Vernon, Lisa, DeAndre, and Mark Whitaker, they had already said no to Mimi. But do you not know that Mark Hugel, which made me kind of side eye him, he wanted the other man that they did not get, but he said if he couldn't get that man, he would rather keep Mimi. Bill Moody said no, because he knows how disrespectful this lady been towards him, towards him, Mark Hugel, and everybody else. So I can rock with Bill Moody because at least he's kept his integrity intact and did not fold under pressure. See, that's what I'm saying. When we got people that will still support people that we know ain't right, that we know ain't good for the city, that's a problem. Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right, come on with
now
your next one. I'm just getting started.
I see. But look, now you said whew, that you okay with these raises. Now here's my problem.
Come on with it.
Why is why am I paying 5% utility tax raises for the next 5 or so years if we got enough money to double people's salary?
Well, good point. I think that we're comparing apples to oranges.
Money is
And
money.
money is money, but guess what? The same way, like you just said, we have money to pay their raises. Then guess what? We have money to break that 5% down to 1.5%
I can't
or
tell.
2%. We have enough money for real to do away with property tax, especially for these old vehicles and things like that. We really can do that. But I think that people need to focus on that and not compare it to that, because again, listen, you all say things like, and I know we're gonna get there, so I ain't gonna go into it right now, but this is why we vote for the people we have to vote for, because we don't have too many more to choose from. We don't have too many more credible people to choose from, because a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm gonna be real with you. My ultimate goal was to be on the school board. I have decided in my head I can't do that until I'm retired, because it is no way possible. And I told a school board member this today. I said, y'all don't even get a business cell phone. The city council people get a cell phone, so you don't get their personal one. Do you not know, Nina, that you got people calling school board members on their personal phone 24/7? constantly, and the school board members don't get but 12,000 a year, and you got
Didn't
to
they get a
work,
raise too?
huh?
Didn't they vote for a raise too?
That was 3 years ago. 4 years ago, they come from 5,000 to 12. I think that was crazy. It need to be a little more than that because these people are working. Do you not know when the bus ain't late, people don't call the school because they mad because the school gonna get them the same answer. So guess what they do? They call a school board member. And they call a school board member. You know why? Because I burned it. I burned the phone up. I'm sorry. I told one school board member recently. They was like, "Well, why you didn't call me?" I said, "Because I was too embarrassed to call you. I didn't blew your phone up, word you to death. I know when you see my number come across the call ID, I know you say, 'Oh Lord, there go that damn Barry Randall again.'" So at the end of the day, I know how it feels. So I called another one that I ain't been worrying to death. But what I'm saying to you is these people are really invested their time. All seven of them, Mayor Glover, the vice mayor, all their council member, the school board member. That's a lot. Nina, I'm gonna be real with you. That is a lot for them people to have to deal with, and for us to just think it's okay for these people to go down there and work for these little bit of pennies when we know for a fact that they have to work 5 to 7 days a week if on any given week. Because when you mad with when you mad with the department head and the department head, you don't like that answer, then you go to this deputy manager, you don't like that answer, then you go to the city manager, you don't like that answer. So guess where you're going next? To a council member. And many
Well, here's
people
the
don't even
thing.
go through this, and many people don't even go through the tiers of leadership. They just call a council member. And let's be real. You know they be wanting to say, don't call, but you know they're not going to do that because they're scared they're going to not be voted for. So guess what these politicians do? They gladly take the phone call, knowing goodness where they sick and tired of these people calling their phone, but they don't have a choice because the first time Shannon, Lisa, DeAndre, Mark, Bill, or Mark Hugo or Vernon be ugly to one of them and say, "Look, I'm tired of you calling me. Stop calling me." They're going straight to social media and they're going to post on social media. "Can you believe how this council member talked to me?" And da 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 da. So guess what? Pay them people their damn money. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I disagree because
Okay.
here's the thing. Even though you can call,
Mm-hmm.
you calling, majority of the citizens can't call and they answer the phone. Majority of the citizens, when they email, don't get responses back. I know. I'm one of them citizens that had a problem and I didn't get a response. You know the only people that email me back?
Who?
Bill Moody and
But hold
Vernon
on,
Cleveland.
that's a council member.
Bill Moody. So only them two should get a raise then.
No, no, I'm just saying maybe. No, no, no. I'm pretty sure. So, and I promise you, I'm telling you, Nina. A lot of people don't realize this. You could, for example, I have called a school board member, right? And I was like, "Hey, they'd be like, 'Oh yeah, somebody already told us.'" So what I'm saying to you is, and I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm playing devil's advocate. You could have emailed all seven of them the same thing.
And
They could have, they could have had a conversation, and Bill Moody said, "You know what? I'll take this one. I'll give her a call, or I'll respond." There's no need of all
that
seven of
sounds
them
real pretty.
responding. There's no
But
need of all seven of them responding.
yes, it is
One of
because
them got,
each
if
one of
one of
them
them got
had a
it.
piece. Each one of them had a different piece. So I needed a response from each one of them because it was different for each
So
one.
guess what? So that's my point. You make my point. So imagine, and I know you serious about
They
this.
didn't
So
answer.
yeah, but listen, imagine 10,000 of. I'm being nice. I ain't gonna say the other 40 some thousand because we have about 35 to 40,000 kids in our community, and then the rest of the 60, 58,000 are adults. So I'm just gonna say 10,000 other people feel like you do. So imagine if they have to do the beck and call of all 10,000 of us. Come on now,
But they don't.
you know that little
So they have
23,000.
already did this my desk time. And these are the people I'm gonna answer. So again, I don't see why they need to double their salary. You
Well,
just
you
can't
gonna have
get
to
it.
go
And if
down
you
there and
are gonna double your salary, then take that 5% utility tax off.
no, you gonna have
That's
to.
quick pro quo.
Yeah. Well, you gonna have to go down there and raise some sand. You got to go down there. Y'all can't be shy. Go on down there,
Tomorrow.
sign up to be a non-agenda
Tomorrow.
speaker. Yeah, sign up to be
Nope.
a
It's
non-agenda.
an open forum. You ain't even gotta sign up. So
No, 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 no. That piece, yes. But I'm just saying, you don't have to wait for stuff. Because remember, this happened 2 weeks before the last council meeting. People, you can sign up for a non-agenda and bring your issue to the forefront. Not even about the money part. Hey, I got an issue. I emailed 7 of you all, and I emailed 7 of you all something different, and I only got one response, and that was Councilman Bill Moody. And I feel like
I got
you all
2.
work.
Don't forget Vernon Tillage. Vernon
Okay,
Tillage.
Vernon Tillage. But my point that I'm making is you have to make it
Well, go
known
ahead.
because guess what? They work for us. Don't ever let these politicians make you feel any less valuable because at the end of the day, they work for you. They work for me. They work for and now this part, I'll be true. They work for everybody, even the people that don't pay taxes, the lazy folk and don't want to do nothing and just want to hand out and, oh, give me, give me, give me, give me. I'm a Democrat. Just give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. I need this. I need more of this. I need more of that. Give me, give me, give me, give
Okay,
me, give me.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. All right, all right, all right. So,
It's the medication.
so here's the thing. Can you tell me at least something nice about Mayor Shannon Glover?
Oh, absolutely.
Let me hear it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
He speaks so profound. He never have to pause and say, He's very poised. He knows what he's saying, even if he's telling a lie.
That's it.
And he says it great. Absolutely. Listen, he represents us very well. He's going to take pictures. Did you see the interview that he just did the other day with the guy from, and I need to research that because I ain't hating, but that guy look a little too young to have his own ship fitting company. The guy that they did in the news, he from Puerto Rico, came here, made his life better. But anyway, listen, Mayor Glover, I'm telling you, and that's why I try to tell people I support Lisa 100%. I'm telling others, but I tell them this is not a walk in the park for her because her last name is Lucas, or she has Lucas attached to her last name. Because Shannon Glover, he speaks very, 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 very well. He could be lying out of all sides of his mouth, but you better believe he's going
That
to
wasn't a
come across.
question.
Huh?
You're supposed to be saying something nice. You're supposed to
I'm
be saying
saying
something.
something
You
nice.
did you go on you straying.
No, what I'm
Go
saying to
ahead.
you is when he's speaking, he's sharp. He's know what he's talking about. He's on target. He comes across well. He dresses well. He walks with confidence as the mayor. That's why he loved putting people out the council meeting because I'm the mayor. But he knows what he's doing. He just be lying when he's doing it. So I'm just saying.
Okay,
Okay,
we gonna throw.
get
Okay,
to your
that's
other
enough
juicy
about
part.
mayor race. Let's get to
Yeah.
the rest of it. Let's get
Okay,
to the rest of it.
come
All
on
right,
with it.
so let's talk about the city council people that are running.
Mhm.
Um, so recently I did a show with Conrad, and we
With
talked
who?
about with Conrad.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. What
Yeah,
happened to
and we
y'all
talked
supposed to been getting
about
DeAndre and all them on live? That never happened?
DeAndre was supposed to come to the show, and he did not come. He said he had another engagement, so they rescheduled another date. It was supposed to be me, Conrad, and Sergio O'Neill,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't come to that one either. So we just had a conversation about some issues that I had. So tell me your thoughts, and I'll tell you mine. Because
Okay.
here's my problem. We used to talk about this, and you would always say, I ain't voting for him. And now you turned on me.
Okay.
Now I'm a vote for him.
Okay.
Now what?
Yeah. What's your question? Why?
Yes, why?
So you got to tell the people who we talking about so they won't be lost.
DeAndre Barnes.
DeAndre Barnes. So,
Councilman DeAndre Barnes. Why are we
so,
voting for him?
so let me say this, guy, and I shared this in my civic league. As I serve as the president of the Brighton Prentice Park Civic League, one of the greatest civic leagues we have in the city. Anyway, I shared this with my civic league. DeAndre and we fell apart. I was his campaign manager the second time he ran for school board. And he and I had linked back up because we had fallen out, and we agreed that if we have any personal issues with with each other, that we would not air it out publicly, and that we would just, take it to each other, man to man, and let it be done. I broke that truce. I want to be, I can't lie on my guy. I broke that truce because I was angry about some things, and emotional attachments to various things, other people, and as men, we trying to be the domineering force, and it was so many um variables in that situation to where I just didn't care, and I broke our promise, and I started airing out my issues with him publicly. I started sharing things publicly, and what have you. Here of lately, and let me just be real. DeAndre has not called me one time and asked me for my support. I'm not saying that he wouldn't want it, but he's not asked me for my support. Councilman Mark Whitaker has not even asked me for my support. But let me tell you why I'm supporting the two of them. You have, let me share this. You have um, a white guy that's running. I can't think of his name. You have Sharon Anderson.
Lalonde.
You have Bruce Lalonde. He's not white. You have Bruce Lalonde. You have Pastor Calvin Turner. You have Yolanda Edmonds Thomas. You have DeAndre Baum and Mark Whitaker. That's 7 people. Oh, and Davy Smith. So did I get them all? Let's go. The white guy, um, Sharon Anderson, Yolanda Edmonds Thomas, Mark DeAndre, Bruce Lalonde, Davy Smith. That's 7, right?
Okay.
Okay. So it's only 3 seats. Okay. It's only 3 seats. And there's no way all of them is going to win. So I had to start thinking logically. I had to put my personal opinions on the back burner, and something also I gotta also one thing that I have to learn. I gotta stop being angry with people for not being as passionate about a situation or cause that I'm passionate about. And that's that had a lot to do with it, because man, I'd be like, hold up, Mark is so pro-black and DeAndre is so black, but why they ain't doing such and such and such? And I just have to learn the hard way that everybody does things differently. Okay, everybody does things differently. That doesn't mean that they don't care. They may just don't care the way I care. So, and that's not for me to say that even some of the things that I held said about them or said to them was necessarily wrong. I was just wrong as a man of just not keeping uh, personal things personal. And now I have to realize, and I'm asking God to help me, not only for them, anybody, even for any elected official, like, just judge them based upon the policy making that they do. Personal thing, because people look at my personal life and be
Okay.
like, hold up, that's not right. But I want people to not judge me personally. Judge me based upon what you see me doing in the community and the work that I'm doing. And if I'm saying I'm doing something I'm not, hold me accountable. And that's the same thing for them as politicians. If they're not going
So
to
what
do
have they
what,
done?
so they voted for public education to fully fund public education. That's first and
Oh,
foremost. They
okay.
helped the working poor. And let me tell you what I mean by the working
How they
poor,
do that?
because you have individuals that in our community that don't work. And I know people going to slice this. I don't even care. They're going to just slice this little part and then put it out there. Look at what Barry said. But hope they'll be smart enough to look at the whole interview. But there are people in our community that there's always help for. They don't work, they have help. They don't work, they have help. But if you work, like a situation that I'm dealing with, we're paying $700 and some odd dollars for medical insurance, because I make too much. My spouse and I, we make too much for Medicaid, but then we don't make something. I'm all confused about it, because if we can't get Medicaid, then why can't we get the government tax credit from the marketplace? But it is what it is. I believe that God is going to continue to heal me, so I can go back to work where I will be, money coming out of my paycheck for medical insurance, not this $752 or whatever it is a month. But my point is, the working poor, like, I'm tired of we give free stuff to the people. There are people that's working, Nina, that need help too. Just because you see
Mm-hmm.
me working don't mean I don't need a food basket every now and then. Just because I go to work every day don't mean that I may not need help with a backpack. I tell my former daughter-in-law to be that first former because she loved to correct me because her and my son is no longer together. But my grandma, you know what? I'll say it this way: my grandson's mother, I would always tell her, wait to make sure everybody else get their stuff first, and then if there's something left over for the boys, you go and get it. But you don't have to go stand in the line because we can afford to take care of the things that we need to take care of. But by the same token, it was hard because I serve also as vice chair of the Parks and Recreation Board and Commission. And looking at that application, if you made X amount of dollars, you had to pay. If your parent made X amount of dollars, you had to pay. So looking at what my daughter-in-law makes a year, my grandson's mother make a year, and looking at how much she would have had to pay for all three of them, and then DeAndre Bonds, and people say, "Oh, he politicking. Oh, he just okay." Well, hell, what else was he supposed to not do? Wait and let somebody else come up with the idea, and then if you like that person, yeah, that's good. But if you don't like what this person, yeah, it's bad. But yeah, now we have 400 kids that could be serviced in the city of Portsmouth, regardless of their status, status quo in the community and what their parents make. So that, and then being pro public education, my grandkids go to Portsmouth Public School. I am an employee of Portsmouth Public School. I have family members, I said this before, that are employees of Portsmouth Public School. And I can't risk somebody else. There's an old saying, you go with the devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't know. I can't risk this because I'd be looking crazy. I'm out here stomping for this person and stomping for that person, and yeah. And then we get up there and y'all don't need a CT school, or y'all making too much money as it is. We, for the first time, listen, we got a 2% raise that I believe the governor did, because I don't want to give the wrong people the credit. Governor Youngkin, he instituted a 2% raise. We had already got in the school division and on the city level. I don't know about the city. I know in the school division, we got a raise July of last year, because that starts our budget year. And then in January, Nina, we got a 2% raise from the governors. And then guess what? We give it to get a 7% raise this July. No, listen, let me tell you something. Last June, right before school ended, we got a $1,500 bonus. Then we turn around and got another $1,500 bonus. So no, I cannot play with it. And let me tell you something, Pastor Kevin Turner, I have the utmost respect for this brother. I know for a fact that we will be good in his care. But the reason why I can't put my support behind him, because he won't get enough support to get over the top. That's just my little political savvy that I see. Now, I could be wrong. This man could be the top vote getter, and I'll be the first to say, "Hey," just like Senator Lucas. Y'all know I don't bite my tongue for nobody. I don't play game. I didn't support Senator Lucas when she was running last year. I was supporting Senator Lionel Spruill. Then when he started allowing his campaign team, and that's when I realized I wasn't an intricate part of the team. Because, people will come to you and say, "Hey, I want you to be on my team and I want to support you. And I want you to support me." But then when they start doing stuff and then ask your opinion, then you realize that you really ain't a part of the team. So when I start seeing lies being told about Senator Lucas, I said, no, I'm going to go help her. And at the end of the day, let me even be more clear. I still didn't think she was going to win just because I was over there helping her. I don't have that much influence to guarantee her an election win, but I knew that I could not, with integrity, support this man who is allowing lies to be told. He went on and on and on. Oh, she'll cuss me out if I show up at the same place.
We talk about
I'm gonna get there. Okay, I'm gonna get there. I'm telling you who I am. And I told Lionel Spruill that if she cuss you out, let her cuss you out, but she'll be the only one cussing. So therefore, guess what? I switched sides and still didn't think she was gonna win. But guess what? I didn't go hide in the corner when she beat him. I didn't go say, "Oh Lord, oh Senator, please forgive me." No, I congratulated her. She knew that I didn't support her in the beginning. Ain't no love lost. I was able to get the support of council to change the street name after her that's coming up in September. So my point that I'm making is I like to be honest in what I'm doing. So therefore, I cannot risk me supporting anybody other than Mark Whitaker and DeAndre Bonds, because I know their track record. I know what they They said they was gonna do this. I ain't talking about the other stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I need to worry about who I'm sleeping with. I can't be worried about who other people doing stuff with. I can't be concerned with people's personal life. This is what I know. They voted. They ran on supporting public education, and they both have been supporting public education. And I'm not
So
saying
what
that the other
about
candidates that's running won't do it, but guess what? Now I believe
what?
Yolanda Edmonds Thomas would do it, so that's why I'm supporting her too. So they're my three that I'm going with: Yolanda Edmonds Thomas, um, Mark Whitaker, and DeAndre Barnes.
So here's the thing. What about when they voted for Tanya Chapman to be the city manager? Were you behind? You supported that?
I looking back, I thought it was ridiculous. I don't think I supported it outright. I was very warm to her when she came. She called me, wanted to meet with me because she and I had a great working relationship when she was police chief. And she and I met. I tried to get her to let us go eat somewhere else outside the city, but she wanted to go to Roger Brown, so we went to Roger Brown. And me and her really didn't get a chance to talk because everybody, their mama kept walking over to the table, whispering and looking. And I think people were trying to take pictures and all this stuff. They trying to figure out what's going on. So, but yeah, I thought that was a very hasty move of these political individuals. I did not. No, I don't think I supported that right outright. I didn't think that we had much to lose, other than the fact that I just didn't think she was very knowledgeable when it comes to municipal government and how it runs. And especially when you're dealing with, upwards of 600 million to I think we got 900 million this go round. So I was. That's why I didn't support that. But I mean, but hey,
Okay.
it happened, and we just rolled with the punches.
Okay. So now
Oh,
let's
let me
talk
throw a little
about.
plug in there since about DeAndre and Mark before we get off this. On July the 2nd, mark this on y'all calendar. July the 2nd, 2024. I am hosting a town hall meeting called The Conversation. Portsmouth, Virginia, Black Agenda, now or never. And I only have two people on panel, and that is Councilman Mark Whitaker and Councilman DeAndre Barnes. And I did that so that because people get mad and say, oh, you always have this, but you don't never open it up for Q&A from the audience. So guess what we're doing? We're opening it up for Q&A. So if you come, I'll be posting this soon. We're gonna be at the Prince of Peace Church, 1543 Summit Avenue. If you come, you can ask a question. Only thing I ask, don't be messy. And if you can be messy with political, that's fine. If you can ask them something pertaining to them being a councilman, but I'm gonna shut it down if you come asking who you slept with, we ain't there for that. So if you know that they're not doing good, or if you think they are doing good, come and bring your suggestions. Now, again, I had 5 or 6 other people I wanted to put on this, but then I thought about it. I really think that they need a opportunity to share their story and their platform. So it's only going to be those two people. So I hope you're there to go live from HRBC and other people and everybody else. Okay, now go ahead.
Man, I forgot my question. No. um, what was we talking about? Oh, DeAndre
So much.
Barnes. We
And
talked
listen,
about
we only
Tanya
talked about
Chapman.
two things, and it's an hour already.
Exactly. And
Oh,
we talked about Tanya Chapman, and you voting for Mark Whitaker and DeAndre Barnes. Oh, let's talk about that street that you
come on
nominated,
with it.
and it got passed with Senator Lucas. A lot of people were confused as to why um Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burke didn't recuse herself from that vote.
So
What you think?
she didn't recuse herself
I
because
mean, it was
she didn't recuse herself because she don't profit anything off of it. One, two, people was not that concerned when former councilman Paul Battle voted for his daughter to get a business license to do a certain particular business in the city, and he definitely should have recused himself because that's a family member profiting. Senator Lucas ain't gonna get no money off the street being named after her, and Lisa definitely don't benefit from the name, the street name being named after her. And I'm glad Lisa voted because it could have been a stalemate. It could have been 3 yes, 3 no. Remember, I told you told me to say something nice about Mayor Shannon Glover. Mayor Shannon Glover, he voted just as nicely. But guess what? That's because he knew that he would not be able to get enough votes to say no. So it would be so obvious if he had voted no. He wasn't there going to do that.
I don't know what to do with you.
Mhm. But listen,
Well,
that
thank you for
street
saying
name,
something nice.
yeah, but that street name does not impact anyone's home or business. I did that on purpose. People were like, "Oh, she did more. That's all you're gonna do. That little script right there. You should have changed Victory Boulevard." No, I should not have, because that would have been everybody and their mama. You got people been living on Victory Boulevard for 50, 60, 70 years, and you got
Mm.
people, and there's a segment of our community that will probably burn the city down if their address had to be named 714 Senator Senator Louise Lucas Boulevard. So I did not
Boulevard.
do that. And listen, not just for the white community that's further down Victory, but also to the right. Is if you go left from Victory, coming from Victory Crossing, that's called TCC Drive. If you turn right, that's called Freedom Drive. You have black people that's been living on that street for years, and I did not want anything to impact their mail and just to be up in arms. So the senator is right there. She was a great fighter and champion for the casino. By law, she's not allowed to be part owner, invest in it, or any of that. Not just her, any politician. That was done when they agreed to allow the casino to come. So I think that was the least we could do. And I did not want her to be dead and gone, because one thing I noticed about people, we love to honor people when they dead and gone. They be dead, been dead for 50 years, and we out here putting banners and roses up and talking about them good. People need to feel appreciated, because let's put yourself in her shoe. She's been doing this for 40 years. And out of those 40 years, I'm sure she's had some great times, but you better believe it was probably some rocky times more than great times, bad times more than great. And she's one of the best to ever do it. And I think she's rose to a level that Republican, Democrat, black, white, brown, we should all be appreciative to what she's done, because don't think for a moment when people know about the casino in Portsmouth, they don't frown like Portsmouth. When I tell people, oh, we got a casino for real, Portsmouth. So she championed that. So I need people to recognize and put some respect on her name. So when you go to that casino, you will go down Senator Louise Lucas Drive.
Not all the time. You could. Oh, they can go. They can go the long way.
If you come in through the back door, but most people like to come in through the front door.
Okay. All right. So now, okay, fine. You gonna vote for? You gonna vote? I still. He ain't won me over yet.
I got you. But that's the
But
beauty.
we
That's the
still
beauty of this.
friends.
You know what I mean? That we can still be friends. Like we just went out to eat, y'all, and I had her to get some more French fries because she was looking at my French fries, and even though I can't eat a lot of food,
Like you want to give me
I was
none,
not
but
going to share my French fries with her. But yeah, we friends in real life, y'all. This ain't just through the computer stuff. We really friends. So yeah, we're gonna be good regardless.
So let's talk about like you said you like William Moody. Now that I can agree with you. Like at
Mhm.
first, I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was racist.
He and
But
I had
then
run-ins. He and I have had run-ins, but like I said, he wasn't the type that if he saw me, he'd say something nasty, smart. We had our moment, we had our time. People don't even know this. We even went to court with each other. We had our moment, but at the end of the day, that's what it was. And as men, as grown people, I would say, we did what grown people do. Hey, how you doing? We work together on what we can work together on, and what we can't work together on, we just don't work together on. Because at the end of the day, we're not going out to eat. You know what I mean? We're not. For example, like you and I will feel some type of way as you will feel some type of way if I was to come at you with some type of, because we're friends for real. Like I don't have dinner at Councilman Mark Whitaker's house. I don't have dinner at DeAndre Barnes' house. And he and I were friends and type before, but even then we wasn't like that close with each other. So I'm learning now to deal with the issue and the topic at hand. And we got to stop with the sound bites, because we can come down there and put them on blast about a whole lot of stuff. But again, if we're going to put them on blast, let's put them on blast about things that I believe they can do. Like DeAndre said something that I didn't agree with just at the last council meeting when I brought up the issue that they was having in public housing. We don't have no basketball court. Some of them don't even have playground area. And DeAndre was like, well, we need to see da-da-da-da-da. But I know we don't have no control over PRHA. And in my head, I'm like, to a degree, you do, because it's city council that appoint the board members of PRHA, and the director has to take the directors of the board of PRHA. So you all need to talk to some of these board members and say, hey, what are y'all doing? Because that's the problem that we have. We putting people on boards, Nina, and these people don't even have a dog fight in the board that they serving on. They got a playground at their community. They could care less. They don't have this stuff going on in their community. They don't have a basketball court. And I just think it's wrong. Like, for example, I just went out Lexington Place tonight, earlier today, and the kids, they was waiting for me to go back so they could throw the basketball court over my car because I played that same game as a child. Because when we was coming up, we was poor. We didn't have basketball courts, so we did the best we could. That's the rich history of Black people, because we knew how to take anything and make something with it. So therefore, we didn't need a basketball court. We didn't need a football field, because guess what? If there was some grass available, we played football. If there was a street curve available, we played basketball. We took baskets and made baskets out of them. We did that. But guess what? It was necessary back then because we didn't have the resources like we do now. And now that we have the resources and we have a seat at the table, there's no reason why our children should have to be stuck with just playing curveball, because we don't have people in place to put these issues at the forefront and say, hey, this is the problem. I get it. Y'all don't want basketball court because they're going to draw the wrong people. But guess what? But should we punish the good people for the bad people? My lawyer told me years ago, and I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. He said, Barry, laws were written so that a guilty person would go free before an innocent person would go to jail. So we don't like it. Like, people, they hate defense attorneys until they need one. Let's just be real. Somebody kill your loved one and a lawyer go in there and get them off. Oh man, you hate that lawyer. But then the moment you kill somebody, you need a defense attorney. So at the end of the day, we got to get people that's going to stand up for our causes and that they're going to put things in place. So trust me, I'm not going to let that go. I will be bringing that back up to DeAndre and them tomorrow in reference to that. You all pick the board members that's over PRHA. So you all need to call them and find out what's going on in some of these housing development that don't have things for our young people.
But can we agree that we need more than basketball courts? We need playgrounds.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. We need playgrounds. We need basketball court. Listen, there's no reason for any community. There's no reason for any community to not have a playground. I'm not going to say every community need a basketball court because I know it costs. But at the very least, when you know that our Black and brown boys are good at it, that's the, we're not asking you to put a soccer field in every community, because we know that that's not a sport that we subscribe to. I'm not saying that Black and brown boys don't play it, but we know our Black and brown boys, and even girls now, play basketball and football. So we need to make sure that we have things for them, because what happens, Nina, when you have a son, a young man that the parent don't want them walking to the rec center because it's too far from their house? Or what happens when you have a young man who did not do well on his report card, so his mother or father say, hey, you can't play on the football team this go around? That don't mean that they still shouldn't be able to play basketball or football at home. So that's why it's very imperative that we have these daily essential things. That, at the end of the day, these are basic things that we can do. It ain't going to take an act of Congress. We don't have to go up to Richmond and lobby for it. Just make the funds available and build a basketball court and a playground area.
You could also have little libraries. People like to read too.
Absolutely. Better
we
yet,
need a variety of things.
Absolutely. But guess what? But see, if each community, and I'm talking PRHA right now, that's Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority, each of them need to have an office, a rec center in their community. So guess what? They could have a computer library and, a library for books, and then also a computer lab. So that our teens could, like my grandson, when they was 5 years old, now they 7, 8, 9. But when they was 5, they knew how to work my phone with no problem to show me what to do. To this day, right now, when I get stuck, I call my 8-year-old. Hey, come here, because he's real smart up here. Hey, show me how to do this. And then he'll do it for me. So that's what I'm saying. We can't lose these children because of things that we can do. Now, like I'm saying, we shouldn't have to sign a petition for this. We shouldn't have to take a bus load. When you really trying to get something done, you take a bus load to Richmond and you lobby. But we shouldn't have to lobby for these basic things.
I get that, and you kind of strayed away from the Bill Moody conversation. So, like, what was I saying? Oh, I thought he was racist when we first met
Mhm.
due to a disagreement about a flag, and he had unfriended, well, blocked me on Facebook because I asked him about why he was defending this flag. Well,
Mhm.
the good thing was he finally answered me, uh, and he explained to me that he doesn't believe in the flag, but he does believe in the right for people to, I guess, fly it. And me too. I would prefer that if this is something that you believe, show me so I know who I'm dealing with.
Absolutely. That way, your children, our children, don't have to be taught by them. They don't have to be influenced by them. And definitely, I don't want you cooking my food. So I agree with you. Just like I don't know if you saw that video that went viral of the white dad running on stage pushing the
Yeah,
superintendent away because he didn't
yeah,
want that black man touching his white hand daughter. And I know that was
yeah,
embarrassing for the daughter. I feel bad for her, and I hope she doesn't subscribe to her parents' ideologies. But that's far fetched because many times that's how it is. Racism is taught. But my thing is this: I'm looking at the superintendent like I would hope that this man didn't write you or make a phone call and told you in advance. Because if he told you in advance, you should have respected that man's wishes and stepped off to the side. Because what you should have said was, "Sir, more than anything, I don't. Your daughter don't deserve to touch my hand as a black man." Who at one point in time we was considered three-fourths of the individual, and it was against the law for us to read. And now that I am a superintendent, I'm not just a IA, instructional assistant. I'm not just a hall monitor. I'm not a cafeteria worker. I'm not a janitor. I'm not a bus driver. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a department head. I'm not an assistant principal. I'm not a principal. But I am the superintendent over a whole school district. And you are doing me a favor because she don't deserve to shake my hand. So I agree with you 100%. When the monument thing happened, I get it. And I tell people all the time, that's what I had to learn. Things affect people differently. So like that monument downtown Portsmouth, that didn't affect me like it affected other people. I could care less. They could have left the thing right there for all I care, because I need to know who
yeah,
supports it. I need to know who
yeah.
is on band with that, so that I know who. Now, people like come support my business. No, I ain't coming to support you, boo, because I know how you really feel. I know that you don't like my kind, so I can't chance you spitting in my food. But I thank God for you.
Yes, I need them to hang it up in
Yeah,
a windowsill so
yeah.
I know, hey, I
Be
can't mess
proud.
with you. I'm
Hell,
mad that Walmart stopped selling it. I need them to be able to get their little
yeah,
flag and let me know
absolutely,
who they are. So
absolutely.
that was the Bill Moody. But my thing is like, if you get Whitaker back on council, I'm gonna need Bill Moody to be on
Well,
council to
well, Bill Moody, yeah,
counteract each
well, you
other.
know what? And I will agree with you there. Bill Moody time hasn't come yet. He got 2 more years. But see,
I know,
I'm
I
gonna
know.
tell you this, because I guess we keep lumping Whitaker and Barnes together. But for me, another reason why I'm voting for Mount Whitaker, because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care who up there, black or white, he gonna hold you accountable. So I tell people all the time, I got to rock with Mark Whitaker, because even if Lisa is our next mayor, he ain't gonna let her stray too far. Trust and believe. I'm telling you what I know. Don't y'all sit back and think, oh, they all going with the black people, because that don't work like that with him. I'm here to tell you. Because that's what I'm trying to tell you. When Dr. Patton started throwing in with John Rowe and them on certain issues, oh, he was calling her to the carpet. So again, we need people that don't mind holding people accountable. Watch this. And then we need people that don't mind being held accountable. See, most of us like holding people accountable. We just don't want to be held accountable. So we gotta get that thinking. Like, we're gonna be working in the public. If we're gonna be out here giving of ourselves in the public and working for the people, then guess what? You can't get mad when people don't like what you have to say. What they call me, the people's pastor. The people, see, that sound good, but then guess what? Ain't every people's pastor. There's some people that don't like me. There's some people that legitimately don't like me. There's some people that have a good reason. I ain't talking about people that just don't like people for no other reason. There's some people that don't subscribe to every way I think and thing that I do. So they may say, hold up, you don't speak for me, brother. You don't represent me. But guess what? I have to respect that, because we love to hear the applause of the people. We love people clapping for us, but nobody likes the boos. That's anybody. What people tell you,
Yeah.
just don't embarrass me. We don't care what happens. Just don't make me look bad in public. And that's the thing. When you are a public figure and you're working in the community, then guess what? Your stuff gonna be out there. And that's why you got to walk in integrity and you got to pray to God or whomever you believe in to keep you on the straight and narrow. The scripture says, wide is the gate and wide is the way that leadeth to destruction. And there are many people that be there. But straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to life everlasting. And only a few find it.
So it's funny that we talk about that. So there was who's running? There's this guy running who I just don't see him winning, but he may win. I don't know. Anything's
Ooh,
possible. But I hope not.
if you talking about who
Well, I
I
can't say
think
I
you're
hope
talking,
not.
I
We
got.
gonna
Well, if you
see.
no, no, no. If you talking about
Because
who I think you're talking about, I hope not too.
I'm not gonna say that. It's just in the people's hand. You can or cannot. You may or may not want them. But when I watch interactions with people, I watch people. I'm a people watcher.
Hmm.
And I be like, we have so many problems with the youth of today simply because the adults that are in their lives that they can see can't even interact with each other without being aggressive or
Right.
you're dumb or you're stupid. It's okay to disagree with each other without all of that. So my problem was they didn't like the whole monument tearing down thing. The monument got torn down and people were all up in their feelings about why did that monument get torn down and blase blase. But the interactions between the two people showed me why we have such a problem in Portsmouth.
Hmm.
We don't know how to talk to each other. So we don't know how to talk to each other in resolution. Then
Right.
how do we expect our children to learn how to conflict resolution?
Absolutely. And we're tearing people down on social media. Like I tell people all the time, the young people are shooting people with guns. We shooting people from our keystrokes on the computer board on social media. And again, you're right. That's why I said we got to get back to the place of holding people up by their policy. Other than that, I don't want to hear nothing else about the person. I don't care if they got 5 baby mamas, 5 baby daddies. If they did this, they did that. As long as they're not a molester of children, a rapist of women, I ain't got nothing
Or
to do with
men.
it. Well, or men, right? I
Rapists
guess
in general.
our rapists in general, right? I guess you're right. My bad. Yeah, other than that, I have nothing to do with that, and that's very hard because we knows it. We love, and that's why I tell people, gossip sounds good until it comes about you. We love to call people and say, "Let me tell you the latest tea," or "Did you hear this?" But see, we don't want it done to us, but we'll do it to other people. So that brings us to the place of learning to grow up and accept responsibility. And that's why I even apologized to DeAndre in front of my civic league. And let me tell you something. Is it possible that he probably said whatever in his head? Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, he's gonna be nice publicly. He's trying to win, and if you're smart, you want everybody to say, to support you. But I can't be concerned with whether or not he rock with me for real or not. At the end of the day, I don't need him to rock with me. I just need him to vote my interests. You understand what I'm saying? I need him to
Yeah.
vote. I need him to put policies in place that's going to make life better for me and life better for my family and loved ones. That's all I need him to do. I don't need him to like me. I don't need him to like my stuff on Facebook. I don't need him to go out to eat with me. I don't need none of that. And guess what? And he should be saying the same thing about me. Barry, I don't need you to like me. I just need you to support me in what I'm doing, what's right by the people. And when we bring, and that's why I'm having this thing, and I know a lot of people gonna come out, and I know I'm gonna have to shut some people down. But at the end of the day, we got to get back to that because I know that there are people that don't even talk to me no more. I mean, they were liking stuff, commenting on posts, but they were. Somebody told me they said you back with DeAndre. I said, how am I back with him? Man, this man ain't even talked on the phone. You know what I mean? We ain't even really
You
had a sit
supporting
down
them.
conversation other than I'm gonna vote for you. And he came in my civic league meeting. He came a little late because he said he had to do something with the kid. He spoke and all that stuff. And then when it was over with, he gone on out the door. We ain't sit around and dap it up. Yo, what's up, bro? Da da da. My bad. Da, da. No, because I don't need. I only need to be concerned with my spouse and my loved one. when it come down to personal things. Other than these politicians, let me tell y'all something. You'd be surprised. Y'all will be surprised of people's arrangements and stuff. That's why I tell people, mind your business. So while you think you got something on this person and you're gonna tell on them and they sleeping around and then you don't even realize that their spouse know because they got that arrangement. They can sleep around long, they sleep around. And guess what? Everybody's morals are different. And that's why I used to try to tell bus drivers, stop trying to raise these children like they're your kids because you're telling them something is wrong that when they're at home, their parents at home may not tell them it's wrong. So you got to disassociate yourself from these children as they're yours. And you need to understand your job is to do one and two things: drive them to and from school safely and be a professional bus driver. That's all you're supposed to do. All that other stuff, because I'm gonna tell you something, Nina. I would see kids come up to the bus stop, and they was my couples, and I'm like, Lord, their mouth is filthy. Stop cussing, be quiet. And then one day they come to the bus stop with their mama. Yeah, goddamn, I'm sick of that bitch. Fuck, mama. I said, fuck. Yeah, you gotta beat that bitch. I'm like, what? Hold up, is that your daughter that you're talking to like that? Y'all, this is what y'all doing at home. So y'all cussing with each other like y'all sisters. So that taught me right then, Bird, pump your brakes. Try to be the best professional bus driver you can be and say, hey, chill out with that. Calm down, tighten up. Look, stop doing that. But other than that, that's it. Because we can't make these kids be anything other than what their parents are going to subscribe to. Because at the end of the day, it starts and ends at home. As a
All
community
right.
activist, Nina, I can go get them. I can take them out the home. I can feed them. I can show them the better parts of life. But then guess what? If the household is dysfunction,
Mhm.
when I take them back home, they're going right back into a dysfunctional place.
All right. And here's my last question.
Whew. Yeah, you worm me out, girl. I ain't even gave Rhoda this much time. Rhoda gonna call and cuss me out. Me
I
and Rhoda
know,
ain't
I
never
know, I
did an
know.
hour and a half.
Here's my last question. What is the Portsmouth Partnership?
The Portsmouth Partnership is an organization made up of businessmen. I don't want to say all white men because I don't know who's left, who's still there, but I would say that it is predominantly white businessmen, and they are housed out of Town Bank. And I think because a lot of them do their business with Town Bank. Don't get me in no trouble, Nina, because the bank people gonna be like, we ain't getting that black man nothing. But they utilize Town Bank, and let me tell you something. Senator Lucas works very well with the Portsmouth Partnership. She like I said, she the best that ever did it. She gonna her stance in politics is no permanent friends, no permanent enemies. So only permanent interest. So if she need the partnership, she gonna rock with the partnership. If she don't, she won't. And but yeah, the Portsmouth Partnership is made up predominantly of a lot of businessmen and and probably even women, but for the most part, predominantly Caucasian. And they are the kingmakers behind the scene. And to be fair, we have black kingmakers, in our city, and that way, and that's why I said being a politician, you got to know the game. Because I'm gonna tell you something: the people that's elected is not the power. I would say that only Senator Lucas is because she do dual roles. She's the kingmaker and she's also a politician. But for the most part, the power people are those behind the scene that you don't see. The ones that make you who you want to be, who make
So do
you the
you
senator,
know
make you the
who's
delegate,
in
make
the
you the school board
Portsmouth?
member. Huh?
Do you know who is in the Portsmouth um,
Partnership?
Partnership?
Absolutely. I don't know all of them, but I know a few. You're not gonna get me to just go on record and start naming certain people. Then they about that they no longer on there. But just put it like this: business owners, and especially those that may like got a roofing company and those that may deal in carpet sales and things like that. Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of I think the Guava or that old Mexican place on Court Street, the owner of that, I know he, was with the partnership. And let me tell you something. Again, to be fair, the black community has kingmakers too. So I ain't gonna let them off on Z. But for the most part, they don't really have a name, and you can't say the Martin Luther King Leadership Steering Committee because It has
Way.
changed. It has changed since I used to be a member, and when I was a member, it was a small segment of individuals, but now they have a lot of people, and it normally used to then be like that. So I don't want to just say the Martin Luther King Leadership Steering Committee is the kingmakers in the black community, because there's some people that are members of the King Committee and they ain't got no power at all. However, I would say that the executive leaders of the MLK are
Uh-huh.
are the kingmakers. Yes,
They the
I will say that.
kingmakers.
Huh?
The executive people
The
are the kingmakers
executive, the
on the black
executive,
side.
the executive leaders of the MLK, yeah, they will be considered the kingmakers from the black community. So, but again, as a person that's running for office or in office, you got to give in to who made you, who put you in that position, but you don't have to always. You got to balance it out, because you want these people to support you. You want the partnership to support you. You want King Committee to support you. So, yes, there are times where, hey, I need to do this because this is what my base is asking me to do. But then there's sometimes you have to say, no, I can't do that. And that's what disappoints me with Shannon, because you don't get no blacker than him. So, brother, you're black. So you ought to be able to tell them white folk, hold up, I can't do this. I can do this, but I can't do this. Because this is obvious. But he doesn't do that. He constantly does what his base tell him to do. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is the dangerous mistake that he's gonna make in the black community. And I say this humbly, y'all. Because I don't want y'all, because I'm just learning to just be like okay with stuff. But I know it's gonna come in the way and people are gonna slice this. But I'm telling you, in Portsmouth, you don't need the white community to win a race. You don't. You do not. It's good because you want everybody to support you. But in Portsmouth, you don't need that. So Shannon is banking on the white community putting him in office. And what he doesn't realize is Lisa has some white people too. Because if you go back and look, when she was taken to court by somebody, and when everything, we're not gonna vote for her, the white people, we ain't gonna do this. You go inside them white groups on Facebook, they dogged the senator's name, they dogged Lisa's name. And what happened? Lisa won with 17,000 people. So what does that tell you? That everybody white don't not dislike her. She's still
Yeah.
now her base is more black. But what I'm saying is, I think what's happening is you're gonna get this notion that the white people are gonna back Shannon, the black people are gonna support Lisa. When I think that it's gonna be a little mixture of both on both sides. I think there's some black people, because again, what I just shared, there's black people that won't watch this show to hear me what I say. All they see is Shannon up there kissing babies and patting dog head and being a politician that he is, and they just think he's good, so they're gonna support
Like
him.
all
So I think
politicians.
that it's going to be a nail biter, because one of them going home. This ain't like council, this ain't one of them off year election where if you run and you don't win, you get to go back to this seat. If Lisa don't win, she going home. If Shannon don't win, which he won't, he's going home. I'm just saying.
He might win. Stop being a hater.
I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just telling you that. Listen,
you
and I
you
tell
don't
people this
know.
all the time. This is what I tell people. This didn't have to happen this way. Shannon did not have to go out like this. But Shannon only wanted to listen to the kingmakers of the other persuasion. He didn't listen to the kingmakers that look like him. Because let me tell you something, Nina. Lisa is facing who for mayor? Who's she going up against?
Shannon.
I'm asking. She's going up against Shannon, right?
Yeah, Shannon.
Anybody else?
Exactly.
I'm
Just them
asking you.
two.
Anybody else?
Not
No.
yet, but we'll
Right.
see.
But well, they got to the 18, but I ain't even worried about that. But on the other side, Shannon has three entities he's running against. You know who he's running against?
What's he running?
He running against MLK, the Black Kingmakers. He running against Senator Eloise Lucas. That's her namesake. Do you actually think she gonna not pull out all the stops for her daughter to be mayor in the town that she lives in and have a business in, and she's a senator? And then he's also going up against Lisa. So that's why you hear me say he won't win. It's almost, you're right. I'll tell you that he possibly could win, but it's gonna take an act of God. It's gonna have to be a blizzard
Hold on, Pastor. Hold
or
on.
storm, and people
That
can't
could be an
drive to the
act of
poll.
God, Pastor.
I'm just saying it would have to be out of God. I mean, people can't get to the poll because I'm telling you, he's going up against three people, and he never should have put himself in that predicament. Because I'm gonna tell you, the black leaders just didn't do away with him like that, like he made people think. They sent people to talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. The pastors went to talk to him. I talked to him, and we all shared the same speech that he told us. I gotta do what I gotta do. I got God. I got God on my side. And I mean, he really may truly believe that. But I'm just telling you, what your mama used to tell you coming up, that my mama and grandmama used to tell me. I'm gonna show you better than
And
I
then
can
I
tell
can tell
you.
you.
And the senator is quiet right now because she's been dealing with some things and what have you. But when she
Health
start
things.
speaking up and when she start getting in the forefront, you're gonna know very well why we call her Weezy F baby. Please say the baby. No, we don't. a
That's
few
what y'all
friends
call
of
her. That's
mine,
kind of
a,
long.
a few friends of mine, we call her Weezy. But yeah, she gonna put the smack down. She just gonna do what she do best. I'm telling you, she's skilled at this thing. So we shall see.
So yeah.
While you peeking out your blind, Shannon, looking out the window for Senator Lucas, she gonna be tapping you on your shoulder, asking you, "Are you looking for me? Because I'm right here."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got to go because you're gonna have me divorced.
Exactly. You
I'm
got me
new.
on here an hour and 30 minutes.
I'm newly married, and I needed to last a little while longer. I got to get some more benefits out of this thing called marriage. Okay, so I need you to let me go.
No problem.
Whatever. This is going to be one of your best interviews ever.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure chit chatting with you.
Yes, it was. And we got to go out to eat again next time soon. Okay.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Take care.
Mhm.